Hello and welcome to the Daily Millwall for Wednesday the 26th of February 2025. In today's Millwall news we start off with this. Fighting words from Alex Neil. This is from the southwarknews.co.uk. We want to have something to fight for. Alex Neil discusses playoff hopes as Millwall approach business end of the season. Alex Neil said his side want to have something to fight for as they approach the business end of the season. Millwall's 1-0 win against Derby County saw the Lions rise up to 12th in the table, and they are now 6 points off the playoff spots with 12 games remaining. However, the Scotsman is keen not to look too far forward. I think what we're considering is winning the next game and seeing where it takes us, Neil told the News at Den. What we did speak about prior to Derby, I was saying to the players, we don't want the season to peter out. Winning that game and keeping ourselves within touching distance in the playoffs with 12 games remaining was vitally important. The last thing they want to do is to be in that middle ground where we're not really going there, and the games are sort of petering out. And we want to have something to fight for, we want to have something to push for, and at the moment, we're chasing that pack of teams ahead of us just now. I think we've been in pretty good form. We need to obviously continue to win more games, and if we can do that, then we'll see where we'll land, and maybe 5-6 games to go. Mill's rise up the table has been powered by their excellent away form under Neil since the Scotsman was appointed head coach on December the 30th. The Lions have won 4 out of their 7 on the road games and drawn a further 2. Prior to Neil's arrival, Mill had only won one away game all season. When asked what was behind the improvement, Neil said, well, I think our form in general has been good. I think that's probably the main contributing factor. Without the business end of the season, games are very important. And, if you look at the wins that we've had, we needed those wins at the time and we got them. We're now 1 loss in 9, so I think, we've started to find a bit of rhythm, in terms of how we play. I think that, any club that I've joined mid-season, I went into Sunderland mid-season, I went into Norwich mid-season, so I've done a few mid-season ones. And what I find with all of them, if there's ever going to be any sort of rough patches, it's normally the first few games where you're trying to get to know the players and you're trying to get to know how things land and, what's the best system and how we should go about games. I think we've started to find a bit of rhythm in terms of what looks like best for us, and I think the players have been brilliant in terms of taking information and carrying out what we spoke about on the pitch. We've got some players coming back from injury, which has helped us as well. And I think that that momentum, that sort of feel good factor when you're winning games. We can score goals now, and we're defensively strong in the majority of our games. And when you put all that together, that's where we find ourselves right now. Love it. I love it. Absolutely love it. Would be funny if we made the playoffs just because, the club, if you watched the video the other day, not yesterday, before, the club announced that they were hiring out the pitch for the summer and they included the dates that this playoff semi-final would be. So hopefully, get them scrambling to fix that and undo that, because that was a slap in the face. Now, this is also from the southwarknews.co.uk. Obviously, they publish on a Thursday, so if you go out and buy a paper copy, you'll find all this stuff in there, and I'm sure lots of other good things as well. Mill boss intends to be careful with Aidomo Emakhu's minutes. Yes, indeed. Please. Alex Neil intends to be very careful with Aidomo Emakhu's minutes as the wing is eased back into the first team after missing 2 months with a groin injury. Emakhu, 21, came off injured just 12 minutes into Mill's 2-1 loss to Norwich City on Boxing Day, only his second league start of the season, and returned to first team training in the first week of February. He was an unused substitute in the Lions' 1-1 draw with West Bromwich Albion at the Den on February the 15th before making a 4-minute cameo off the bench against Preston North End last week. The Irishman changed the game when he was brought on in the 79th minute of Mill's 1-0 win against Derby County last weekend, setting up Josh Coburn's 95th minute winner by beating his man and putting a dangerous ball into the box. George Chavell's shot was saved and it fell to Coburn at the back post. Emakhu initially found minutes hard to come by this season, starting 2 Carabao Cup games and making 9 substitute appearances in the league before being handed his first league start of the season by interim head coach David Livermore Mill's 1-0 win against Blackburn Rovers on December the 21st. The Shamrock Rovers youth product has produced when on the pitch, leading the lines in progressive carries per 90 minutes, 6.55, and shot creating actions per 90 minutes, 4.5. However, Neil does not risk re-injuring the winger by playing him too much before he has built up his match fitness. And he did play for the under-21s on Tuesday. I believe 60 minutes. If you look at the last 24 months, Aidomo's not played a lot of football, then Spike played loads of football, broke down and not played a lot of football. Spike played a lot, broke down, Neil said. So, the difficulty we've got is he's got that robustness in the fact that we need to steadily build those minutes. So, for instance, today, we've got an under-21s match and Aidomo will play in that, because he needs to get 60, 70, 80 minutes in his legs, and then we need to build him up again, and then we're going to build him up again without breaking him down. The game we played against Blackburn, but he's played 90 minutes plus, which is his first 90 minutes in months, and then he goes to Norwich, and after 17 minutes he throws a hamstring. And if we do that with him, he's going to have the exact same cycle. So people need to understand, that if he's not playing, sometimes it's not because we don't rate him or he doesn't deserve to play. It's because if we flog him too early, he's going to break down and you're not going to see him for 2 or 3 months. He's a high energy player, he's really, really quick. And those type of players you need to be careful with, particularly at the start until they build that level of volume, in terms of minutes in their legs. Exactly. Don't rush him back. Do not rush him back. Now, Romain Esse. What a sight. This is from londonnewsonline.co.uk. So his opportunity will come. Millwall boss on Romain Esse's lack of game time at Crystal Palace. Yeah, I alluded to this the other day. He came off the bench, scored in his first touch, I believe, for Crystal Palace, and since then, I believe, it's because they were losing 2-0. He scored, and instead of grabbing the ball and running back to the centre circle, he naively, big moment for him, he ran to the corner and celebrated. And I think he's being punished by that, obviously, clearly, because the manager doesn't buy the players. So I think it's kind of a similar situation to what we had at Millwall. Glasner probably wanted someone better than Romain Esse, somebody who can come in right away. And instead, he's got a project, and if the project doesn't help him right here, right now, and if he loses too many games, he'll get sacked. So he's probably not happy about that. But let's have a look. Millwall head coach Alex Neil reckons that Romain Esse was always going to need time to settle into his new surroundings at Crystal Palace. The attacker made a move to SE25 that could net the lines up to £14.5 million. SA19 scored just seconds after coming on for his Palace debut in a 2-1 loss to Brentford in the Premier League at Selhurst Park on January 26. The Millwall Academy project has been an unused substitute for the past 4 league matches. Esse did come on for the final 28 minutes of the 2-0 win at Doncaster Rovers in the FA Cup, which set up a 5th round meeting with the Lions on Saturday. Neil watched the winger's debut against the Bees. Asked about there being an integration period for Esse at Palace, the Lions boss told the South London Press, moving into a club, but more importantly, moving to a different level. The pace and the tactical element of the Premier League, will take a bit of adjustment for any young player. If you look at the likes of Olise and Esse, guys like that who went there as well, they take a little bit of time to bed in. Then you see what they're capable of. I don't think Romain will be any different. He just needs to learn and to listen what he's been told. I'm sure his opportunity will come. Neil was in the crowd to watch Palace's 4-1 win over Aston Villa on Tuesday night. Prior to that, the Eagles had only won 2 top-flight home matches on their own turf in the current campaign, but are 4th in the table just based off of away results. That's a bit of a sentence, a bit mangled. So before they beat Aston Villa the other day, They had only won 2 home matches all season. But in terms of away results, they're 4th in the table. So if you did a Premier League table with just away games, they will be 4th. Wow. Okay, so that... I think we've got a chance then, though, if they're crap at home. I think maybe even they don't like their fans, I would imagine. That's probably why they're so bad at home. Asked prior to the Villa fixture about that, Neil said, they won't have any relevance to us. They're playing against Premier League teams. You just have to look at that league. No game is an easy game. What it does reflect is that, you're a very good transitional team. When you're the home team, the onus is on you to come out and dominate to win the game. And it'll probably indicate to us what type of team they are, but I don't think on the day against us it will have any relevance. Millwall have kept clean sheets in both of the FA Cup ties so far as they dispatched Dagenham and Redbridge and then Leeds United. Well, the Cup's been good to us. It's been good to give some of the other squad lads the opportunity to play. It gave me the opportunity to tinker with a couple of bits and tinker without the responsibility and importance of 3 points. And the further stages you get to, the more importance it carries. Who's been in goal for the FA Cup ties? Just saying, again, you need to keep Roberts in goal. If you don't, and it goes pear-shaped, it's going to be a problem. But then, if you keep him in goal and he keeps a clean sheet and we win the game, it's going to be a problem. And it's Alex Neil's problem, not my problem. I just make stupid videos on the internet. Now, what's this about? So it seems, according to the picture, that we'll be playing in the silver kit. We will be playing in the silver kit. Because they've taken this picture. We've got a special sleeve sponsor for the one-off cup game. So I don't know what that's about. I guess because it's going to be shown around the world. More on that on Friday. I always tell you where in the world the game's being shown. Wow, I've had a little look already. It's insane. This game is being shown globally on a scale unforeseen. Millwall Football Club is pleased to announce that Kwiff, not Kwiff, Kwiff, will become the Lions League sponsor for Saturday's Emirates FA Cup 5th round tie against Crystal Palace, kick-off 12:15 p.m. The London Derby, the first at Selhurst Park since 2012, will take place live on BBC One and in front of a sold-out away end in SE25, with the company's logo adorning Millwall's kit for the fixture. Founded in 2015, so is it a real company? It seems so. Kwiff is supercharging sports betting with the player in mind, aiming for a bigger, better, and more entertaining experience. Rather than boosts and enhancements, Kwiff delivers a supercharged betting experience. After placing a bet, the odds of any selection on any market at any time can be supercharged, meaning the possibility of greater returns. What? The partnership follows the recent launch of Kwiff's innovative curfew tool, allowing users to customize the platform, access restrictions during specific time periods across the day, strengthening their commitment to responsible gaming and giving players greater control of their access. I believe that was actually a thing that was mandated by the authorities, because fucking Ladbrokes are doing that to me as well, Suddenly you start winning and they say, oh no, we want to limit your how much money you can put in for your own safety. So, funny that. When I was losing, you didn't give a shit. As soon as I start winning, but more importantly, taking money out. So I win, take money out. Oh, no. Oh, we're limiting your account. Oh, fuck off, man. Curfew complements Kwiff's real-time player monitoring system, which tracks behaviour to detect potential risks. For who? For whom? For you, people who can win. Kwiff's efforts in responsible gaming have been recognised by GamCare, which awarded the company the Safer Gambling Standard certification. Director of Acquisition at Kwiff, Gary McGibbon, said, We at Kwiff are delighted to partner with Millwall FC before their upcoming FA Cup clash at the weekend. You know, we'll have our fingers crossed the Lions can supercharge their way into the next round. We're delighted to have Kwiff on board for this weekend's FA Cup 5th round tie against Crystal Palace. Added James Voisey, the Lions head of commercial. The guys have been brilliant at throwing their support behind us, so let's hoping they bring us luck and they're on the winning side. And you can visit Kwiff's website at kwiff.com. Or not, you know, up to you. But it looks like we're going to be playing in this kit because this is what they've shown us as a picture. So one would assume that this is done. Now, bit of a left field opportunities. Not much specific news on today. Some more general Millwall news. It is Millwall related in a way, especially with such a high profile fixture, you know, coming up on Saturday. We've got this. This is the Express and Star, but I just selected this as an example of this. You can see it in a few places. expressandstar.com. So football offenders could be tested for drugs under stronger policing powers. Ministers have said they will expand the type of offences and types of drug suspects can be tested for. Fantastic. So here we go. Suspects arrested. So if you're at a football game and you do get arrested, they can test you for drugs. And you would think, well, drugs are illegal. If they test you for drugs and you test positive, you tested positive for something that's illegal. So that's when they arrest you for this other crime. I mean, man, you must be guilty because look, you're already doing this other illegal thing. Someone who does one illegal thing does another illegal thing. That's common knowledge. Yeah. Ranging from several offences under the Football Offences Act, antisocial behaviour to, other stuff, proper serious stuff. At the moment, they have the power to test someone arrested for particular offences, or on arrest or after they are charged for Class A drugs, heroin and cocaine. But the government is set to widen the testing to specific Class B and Class C drugs, so cannabis, though this is yet to be confirmed. Well, we do have it because they have confirmed this. The move comes as ministers say they want to tackle the root causes of crime and address the link between illegal drugs and offending. Someone who tests positive for a drug can be referred to specialist help by police. It's all about helping you. So let's have a little look-see at this. There are currently 21 offences that can prompt drug tests, including theft, robbery, handling stolen goods, and possession of an illegal drug. Makes sense. If you have drugs on you, maybe you're going to test positive for drugs. That kind of makes sense. But look at this. So more than 150,000 drug tests on arrest were reported from March 2022 to September 2024. Statistics last week showed, according to the Home Office. So the Home Office's own figures. So they tested 150,000 people. Of these, 56% tested positive for cocaine, opiates, or both, while available data found more than 50% of those who tested positive for drugs were referred to treatment services. So, literally 50-50. So you've got police officers who deal with the dregs of society. They deal with like junkies all the time. And then you would imagine that they could look at someone and say, oh yeah, this guy's on drugs, or oh, no, I don't think he's on drugs. It's literally 50-50. They're not selecting for anything. They're just testing everybody. They're testing everybody. Look at this, 56% tested positive. That's 50-50. You're literally just trawling through. This is like a box checks, rubber stamp. So what has this got to do with Millwall? Well, if you're still here listening, we're about to find out. Don't jump the gun. So this is from gov.uk. It's this page here. This This was published yesterday. Crime and Policing Bill 2025 or 2026, depending when it goes through. This is what they want to do. This is like shortened version, because I'm going to show you the longer version. Is basically it's unreadable. The bill expands police powers to drug test on arrest, DTOA, so that they can test individuals in police detention. So just on arrest, they don't have to charge you. So it's just on arrest. So it's literally, we've arrested you. We've just shown, like, they're literally testing everybody. So they'll test you, and like I said, when you test positive for something, that means you did the crime, because currently under powers in the Police and Criminal Evidence Act 1984, the police can only drug test in police detention for specified Class A drugs. Specifically, the police can currently drug test those arrested if aged 18 or over, or charged if aged 14 and over. So if you're a teenager, they can only test you once you've been charged for the presence of specified Class A drugs if arrested or charged for a trigger offence, or where an inspector or above has reasonable grounds to suspect specified Class A drug use has caused or contributed to the offence and authorises the test. Right? The bill also gives the power to give police the power to take one additional sample. This isn't to ensure that the police may test for a wider range of drugs, Class B and C drugs, where the first sample was insufficient or unsuitable. So they're going to take two samples from you. One assumes they'll take the first sample, they'll test you for Class A drugs, heroin and cocaine. If that comes back negative, they're going to, oh my God, he tested negative. I thought we were going to get him on that. You know what we'll do? We'll take another sample and we'll test him for Class B and Class C. Then we'll get him on that. Current trigger offences are listed in Schedule 6 of the Criminal Justice and Court Services Act 2000, include largely acquisitive crimes and some drug offences, including theft, handling stolen goods, and possession of a controlled drug if committed in respect of a specified Class A drug. So the bill expands the range of trigger offences to include a number of violent crimes that have a link to illicit drug use. It also removes some offences, etc., etc. So, this is for bills.parliament.uk/bills/3938. And this is the bill here, Crime and Policing Bill. Last updated the 25th of February, so yesterday at 3:45. It had its first reading in the House of Commons. Go into that. If you download it, this is what you get to. Schedule 2B, testing for controlled drugs trigger offences. So, as we've just seen, the kind of things that you would expect, but also some things that you could encounter at a football game. Whether you're a good guy or a bad guy, like if you're just defending yourself, you're in a crowd of people, you get attacked, you can't run away. Not that you should, or maybe you should. I don't know. Not for me to decide. But common assault. Threats to kill, GBH, malicious wounding, ABH, other stuff, the normal stuff, theft, robbery, burglary, this isn't football related, but, kind of stuff that you would expect. These are bad people doing bad things, maybe we should drug test them. And then, possession of drugs, dealing drugs, why not? Criminal damage. So, the kind of thing that you might encounter at a football ground in terms of maybe smashing a coach's windows or something like that, maybe ripping out a seat or smashing up the toilets in a football ground. Public Order Act, if you've been arrested in a crowd at a football ground or outside, you may have been arrested under the Public Order Act 1986, because we have violent disorder, affray, fear or provocation of violence, so not even doing any violence but just provocating it, intentional harassment, alarm or distress. So this is what they want to add to it, but here we get even more absurd. So here we go to the football stuff. Football Offences Act 1991. So these are the things they want to drug test you for. If they arrest you, not even charge you, just arrest you, on these 3 crimes under the Football Offences Act 1991, they will drug test you for Class A drugs, and if that comes back negative, they will then test you again for Class B and Class C drugs, which will almost, like I said, it will give a stigma in terms of like, oh, you're a junkie bastard, you must be guilty of the crime that they've arrested for because you're a junkie. Throwing of missiles, indecent or racialist chanting, going onto the playing area. So, last home game of the season, big deal. I can't be doing that, but they arrest you for that. Drug test. And, it always cracks me up. You see on the television, all of the teams that celebrate, these mid-team, little teams. Oh, look, isn't it so great? Sky Sports, isn't it so great? Look, the fans are running onto the pitch, they're celebrating. The team are going up for the first time in 20 years. Isn't it fantastic? And then when it happens at Millwall, oh my God, what are they doing? Oh my God, oh, get them off the pitch. Oh my God, get the police forces on. Get them off. Yeah, it's ridiculous, isn't it? It's absolutely ridiculous. So you get a gist of that, right? Like I said, this is legalese gobbledygook. So, here we go. As we've just seen, the data, I was going to show you this data, but it was in the other thing, I didn't realise it. So above the lilac box, if you go, it says, according to the Home Office's own data, 117,825 reported tests were carried out between March 2022 and March 2024. So this just goes March to March in 2 years, of which 65,636 were positive. So 56%. Like I said, 50-50. It's 50-50. So they're not targeting anyone. They're not looking at you saying, oh, you must be on drugs. So, oh, rubber stamp, test him, drug test. Yeah, oh, negative, whatever. It's fucking lazy policing. And this is what they do. This is why they're doing it. Because the system then gets its tentacles on you. And, they're involved in your life. They just... You have to go on a course. If you don't turn up to the course, arrested again. Mandatory drug testing. So, first offence, no relevant offending history, fixed penalty notice, drug awareness course. How long does that take? Is that a 1 day course? You have to go 1 day a week for 6 months? Like how? If you attend, everything's fine. If you don't attend, additional fine or charge for the original offence. You see what I mean? So, second offence, a caution, mandatory drug testing and drug awareness course. So mandatory drug testing, so like your Lance Armstrong or one of these cyclists, they'll turn up to your house, drug test you, or more likely get you to go to the police station once a week, once a month, drug test. If you comply, positive test, they might charge you. Negative test, no further action. But if you don't comply, they'll just charge you. So, literally, it's about, putting you under the thumb. Third offence, if they've already tried 1 and 2, formal court proceedings, court order, drug awareness course and or exclusion order, drug tagging, passport or driving license confiscation. So, like I said, this is what they're trying to do. Like I said, they're expanding it to throwing of missiles at a football game, indecent or racialist chanting at a football game, going onto the playing area at a football game. So yeah, fun and games. And on that note, thank you for watching, and goodbye.